Hello, Anime Addicts. Cystic fibrosis, well, it's a real bitch, and we're going to kick its ass this year with help from you and a donation from the AAA podcast. So for the first 3 months of 2021, we're going to be donating 50% of all incremental support we receive during that time to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. Because let's be honest, together I think we can make a real difference, and we can definitely lodge a boot in the booty of what is truly a terrible illness. So if you want to help out, head over to aapodcast.com/join. You can go over to Patreon, or you can click the donate link on top of our homepage. 50% of all support you offer will be donated to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and I hope together we can do something positive and insert some positive energy into the universe. So again, that's aapodcast.com/join or Patreon. Click the donate link on top of the homepage, and together we'll do a great thing. And now, time to start the show.
You're listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Take your anime addiction to the next level at aapodcast.com/join. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Everybody, welcome to podcast episode 560 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. I am your host, Mitsugi, and I am amped to be here today with you live on Twitch, twitch.tv/AAA podcast, live Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. I am excited to be joined by all of you at home, the scuba divers, the grocery shoppers, the long commuters, the bored people at work, everybody. All of you, welcome to the show. I love all of you. I'm glad to have each and every one of you here. And of course, if you want to check us out on social, you can do it on our Facebook page or on our Twitter account. But most importantly, the Discord. Check us out at all those places. Again, I am Mitsugi, and I'm joined. Firstly, welcoming back to the podcast, we have Caroline. Caroline, how are you?
Hello. How's it going?
Caroline calling in from you're in New York City, is that right? New York State?
I'm from, I would call it lower state New York. New York Cityans will probably call it upstate New York, but I feel like once you're not at that line going straight across the state by Pennsylvania, if you're below that line, you are lower state New York. And that is something that I am very passionate about.
From lower state New York, we have Caroline. Welcome to the podcast, Caroline. You'll know Caroline from having done our social media for the past year, and we're happy to have her on the show. And that chuckling little madman, his name's Mason, with his big red headphones. He's looking good. He's looking excited. Mason, what's up?
Not too much, just enjoying another cold day out in the chilly Midwest. Another person who, if you say, "Oh, you're from Chicago," I'd be like,
I'm sorry.
From Chicago, not from Chicago, but close enough. You can count it. Put it on the board. Yes.
Put it on
Chicago
the board.
People will get that reference. Anyway, I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
I am doing great as well because, we're going to get some caffeine flowing. Guys, I have a ton of clerical stuff to go through here real quick, so please bear with me. It is important. Please don't fast forward. Anime Oscars voting. We have some extremely tight votes in the Anime Oscars poll for 2020, including the winner of the year. So if you want to vote in our 10th annual Anime Oscars, it's kind of cool. Now it's like a big number, the 10th annual. You can go over to our website, aapodcast.com. There's a banner right across the middle of the page. You click that, you do your voting, make your voice heard. Please don't forget to do it. Also, if you are on our Discord, if you ever offered any support to the podcast for any amount of time, we will be giving you a special role and a special color on the Discord. So if you're not on the Discord and that seems to describe you, head over there and get your recognition. If you're on the Discord already and haven't done so, please send a direct message to me, Pope Mitsugi, on the Discord, and I will get you hooked up. Thank you very much. And special thanks to Tusked Leopard 83 and Maddie Gamer for boosting us up to level 2. I think yet again. Is that right, Mason?
That's correct. We were there for a second,
Okay.
dropped back down, but we're back. We got the emojis, we got the banner. We are living the good life.
Well, in that case, the children, they're uncaged. They are going crazy. Okay. Thank you very much. And of course, Attack on Titan final season and Dr. Stone season 2 recaps are on the RSS feed as well for you to enjoy. As Attack on Titan is just, I'm gonna be honest. The last 18 episodes of Attack on Titan are probably the best 18 episodes of anime I think I've ever seen. If you're not watching Attack on Titan, you really need to be. There's really nothing even remotely close to it right now, so go check that out. Guys,
I love how hesitant, how doubtful you were months ago, and we were like, just do it. And now you're drinking the Kool-Aid, my man, and I love it.
It is just like the level of action is so far beyond what other anime offer. Not to like talk down to other anime, I'm just talking up to Attack on Titan. Like the action is so insane, and the story is finally opening up to what the show is really fucking about finally, and it's just hitting S-level shit on both cylinders. So check it out. Guys, today on this episode, we're going to be doing Anime Jeopardy Round 2, thanks to IcyRose, who did a great job making these trivia games for us a while back, and I wanted to make sure that we used both of them. And also, Winter 2021 impressions are here.
No way!
So we're going to be getting to those. We have a whole lot of impressions to do. We have 2.43 boys volleyball team, Gekidol, Otherside Picnic, The Promised Neverland Season 2, Cells at Work Black, Cells at Work Regular Season 2, and also Skate the Infinity. So a whole shitload of stuff to get to if we can get, and we're going to try to get to all of those today. So, guys, anything else? Gonna keep running my mouth before we get started?
No, we got a lot to do, as you said, so let's get to it.
Caroline, nothing?
Oh, yeah, let's get into it.
Time to roll.
おー、大ニュースです。It's time for big news of the week.
I have no big news today, so I'm just going to pass it on to you guys. Caroline, what do you got? What is your big news?
Oh, well, I decided that we maybe should talk about some of the anime films that have been submitted for nomination at the Oscars this year.
Ooh.
So let's see. I have to pull up the link because I did not have it prepared. So, and looks like we have like 27 animated films this year, including 6 anime films. Here we have Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train movie, Earwig and the Witch. It was just Studio Ghibli and Goro Miyazaki's movie. Lupin the Third, the First. We have Ongaku, Our Sound, Ride Your Wave, Masaki Yuasa's, and A Whisker Away by Junichi Sato and Tomotaka Shibayama's.
No, you did good.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are all being submitted for nominations. They have not announced who's going to win them yet. There's, I believe, 5 slots, but that, of course, there's like, as I said, 27 animated films. Only 6 of them are going to be anime. And last year, no anime films were submitted. So
Wow.
I want to know what you guys think if any of these movies has the chance for nomination.
Well, first did Earwig and the Witch even have an Oscar qualifying run?
That's coming out next month. I believe it's early February. It's coming out.
I think that they had to change up the eligibility rules, I think due to COVID. Something about how long they have to be in theaters for, but considering the world ended, I think they're going to change. I think they changed that.
Everything is changing. Mason, how many of these have you seen? Because I haven't seen many of these movies.
I have seen 4 of the 6. I have not seen Demon Slayer because it has not come out here yet. And I've not seen Earwig and the Witch because it has not come out anywhere yet. But I will have 5 of the 6 under my belt in 2 weeks from now. And I'll probably actually talk about Earwig. But I've seen Lupin the Third, the First. It's very solid. It's all CG, but it looks actually fantastic. Ongaku, Our Sound, I'll actually talk about that in a few months when it comes out on Blu-ray over here. It had like a small theatrical run, and that is going to be a very decisive movie, but I liked it. Ride Your Wave is Yuasa, so I love it. Whisker Away is a very fun movie, so all solid films. I don't think any will get on the ballot, though, if I'm being honest.
Well, it's up against The Croods, A New Age, so I don't think so.
I feel like Demon Slayer might make it because it's just it's defied so many odds at this point in so many different ways that, I mean, it seems weird to bet against it at this point. So, but I mean, what do I know? I haven't seen it.
But another thing to take into account is that also last year was like I did say that no anime were nominated, but that was the year of Weathering with You and Promare. So if neither of those two were nominated, that does not bode well for any movies this year.
Yeah.
Are there any Pixar movies in the list? Because we know that will win the Oscar no matter what happens, as has happened like 10 years in a row now or something. So.
We have Onward. I don't know if that's Pixar. I think it's just Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Scoob. I don't think that was Pixar. Soul. Again, don't know if it's Pixar or if it's just Disney as well.
I think that was Disney Pixar, but I'll look it up. I don't know.
I don't know. Pixar is just like melting down trophies and using them to like make silverware out of for their cafeteria room in their building. They have so many Oscars at this point that they don't even know what to do with them. They're just, you know, they don't even want them at this point. There's too many of them. I'm just kidding. Mason.
Yeah.
Mason,
I think based on just talking about movies, I think that Onward has a good chance. A lot of people like that movie. There's Sponge on the Run, the SpongeBob movie. Other than those things I've just mentioned, I've not really heard of any of these movies being out.
Fuck it, I'm behind SpongeBob.
On these.
I'm voting for SpongeBob. Fuck it.
Liquidating all my assets, putting it in the SpongeBob. It's going to the moon, people. Believe it.
Yep. 100 to 1 odds. Just gonna sell everything I've got, putting it all in SpongeBob. It's go time. All right, Mason, what do you have for big news?
Well, I'm not talking about the Sponge Squad this week. I just want to bring up attention. There's a ton of manga that are actually finishing up in the next couple of months, and that really, once I hear a manga is finished, then I'm like more inspired to pick it up because I know it has a more concrete ending. Amo the Demon Hunter, The Girl from the Other Side, which we just did a manga club on, and that 11th volume is coming out. Magical Senpai, which was a very dumb but fun anime. Hell's Paradise, which has been getting a ton of love, and Forest Ruler, Mori King are all some pretty notable manga that are finishing up in the short time. So if you've been reading any of those, congrats, you actually get an ending, and I'll be definitely checking some of those out. So just a quick little mention on that.
Yeah, as not much of a manga reader, I don't have much to add, but yeah,
it's books. Who needs them?
I don't know. The world needs more books, Mason. I think you and I would both agree on that at this point. So.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks again, guys, for bringing some big news. You know, I check the news, but sometimes, I don't know, anime news seems to come in like ebbs and flows. Like, you know, there'll be nothing for a couple of weeks, and then out of nowhere, there's just like a huge glut of news, and you don't even know like where to begin with it really. But you know. Anyway, so we do have a fun game here to play for you guys. So I am going to. I don't know, is this game show music going to play? Is this, or is that... Oh, shit, it's time for IcyRoses' extremely difficult trivia challenge. Let's move us over here to the game show.
Allegedly. We'll see.
Oh, I think the sound...
If you can hear us, F in the chat.
The sound is probably back now. So, all right. I think the sound is probably back now.
We have an F. We're good.
Yeah, we have Fs. So I'm going to work here to fix this issue now and get us... There we go. I have on the fly learned how to do something on Twitch, which is amazing. So, all right. So we are going to be playing this trivia game that IcyRose was so gracious to put together for us, and I got to thank him and everybody else who was involved yet again, because I know it takes a ton of work to put all these together, especially to like write all the questions and get it all organized is really a big deal. So
yeah, it's
all
no
right.
small task, and we have a whole Discord channel dedicated to inputting more trivia questions if you like games like this for making stuff in the future. So if you got questions that you want to stump us with, go check it out.
Yeah, IcyRose is super helpful in so many different ways. So. All right, so the rules of the game are simple. It's Jeopardy. We have 5 categories. The categories are Revenge of the Moe Pit of Hell, which the little kids love. So they love that shit. They just love it. Get Equipped, What's in a Name, Anime Abroad, and Rose and Blossom, which I assume is a reference to IcyRose and Blossom's cosplay efforts. So that'll be probably a very difficult category that I'm sure we will all enjoy doing. So I consider myself an extreme underdog in this game. I don't think I have won a game on this podcast in probably over a year. And we have the Pope, the Caroline, and he who is spicy on the scoreboard at the bottom. I will try to remember to read the question and the choices to every question for people watching at home or listening at home. And that's about it. Are you guys ready to get started?
Yep.
We are. Should be noted, there is no penalty for getting the wrong answer, and we're going off the trust that we know it and we say that we know or don't know an answer. So yeah.
Now I say that I am actually kind of decent at regular Jeopardy compared to the average watcher, but I did try to do this the first quiz that IcyRose made up, and well, I was destroyed. So this bodes well for me.
Excellent. And it's not a form of the question kind of thing. It's just the Jeopardy board, not the format. But we'll get into it.
I have changed my name on the scoreboard to The Pope is Doomed because I do not believe I have much of a chance. Caroline, since you are new on the podcast, sort of, again, welcome. Would you like to start by picking the first category?
Let's go Anime Abroad for 200.
Boop, beep, beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, boop. Netflix's Castlevania's producer, Adi Shankar, has cited a number of anime that helped creatively inform his work on the series. These included Vampire Hunter D, Captain Harlock, and Berserk. What anime did he cite as an example of what not to do? Was it A, Garzy's Wing, B, Berserk 2016, C, Ninja Resurrection, or D, MD Geist?
Oh, God.
I don't know, but I have a guess.
I'm not going to know the answer to any of these questions, but I will always have a guess. So I tell you that right now. I have a guess for this one. Caroline, would you like to guess?
I will go for MD Geist. I have no idea, though.
I'm going to guess Berserk just because it's recent. So we'll see.
I'm going to guess Berserk as well because he mentioned Berserk, the original, and Garzy's Wing and MD Geist are great. That's exactly what you want to do. So it's got to be Berserk.
MD Geist.
That's a good way. I keep on thinking that they're really bad shows, but I guess they're just bad dubs.
No, they're bad shows for sure. Yeah, they're definitely bad shows. The answer is Berserk 2016. He specifically cites Berserk as what not to do, and you can find it here at this link. All right, so wow, I am on the board, and so is he who is spicy. So that's fantastic way to get started, and I'm just gonna take it because this will be the last time I ever have control of the board in this trivia game. I'm gonna go with What's in a Name for 100. What is the full title of the anime Don Machi?
That's so unfair.
I just gave the answer away. Well,
is it English okay, or does it have to be the Japanese one?
Well, I just gave the answer away, I think.
What do you mean?
On Twitch? I'm not watching the Twitch. I looked at it now.
I'm assuming we all know I'm assuming we all knew the full title. I mean,
yeah, is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon?
Yeah, and that is the answer.
I totally know it.
Otherwise, Dungeon ni deai o motomeru no wa machigateru no daro ka? All right. I'm just going to give us all credit for that.
Yeah, give us all the point.
I probably would have gotten the English one, so there's that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would have got the Japanese one. All right, I'm just going to keep going here. What's in a name for 200? What is the full title of the isekai comedy Konosuba? Oh.
Jesus, IcyRose. Why did he do this?
trying to remember the full Japanese one. The flex. It's like Kono Subarashi. Oh, I forgot the word. Whatever. Whatever. I know the English one.
That's pretty tough, actually. I actually don't think I know this.
Give it your best shot.
All right, let's take a look at the answer here. God's blessing on this wonderful world, or Kono Subarashi Sekai ni Shukufuku wo, which I think I almost got.
Shukufuku is what I forgot.
I almost got the second. I almost got the Japanese, but I honestly, in full transparency, can't really give myself credit. Mason, did you get that?
So I would have said God's blessing in this wonderful world. I wouldn't have said on.
I would
guess
give
that's
that.
Technically not correct. Don't give me the point. Don't give me the point.
He's. How about you, Caroline? Did you get that?
I was not gonna get it, so.
Okay. Let's change over to get equipped for 100.
Thank God.
The Dominator and Psycho. Yeah, those were the easy ones, by the way.
Oh my God.
I should say that I believe IcyRose made this trivia specifically to stump us. So, and the Dominator in Psychopaths is set up to use lethal force if a target's crime coefficient is above what value? As I've never seen Psychopaths, I don't know, but
Really?
I haven't seen it either.
Y'all should watch Psychopaths.
It's on the list.
I'm just gonna guess 100 because it's. Although I doubt that's right, but I'm just gonna guess 100 because it's a nice round number. Everybody loves it. So, the answer
I'm
is.
going for 300.
I'm going 300.
300. The Dominator would deem a person an acceptable target for enforcement above a reading of 100, but it would only deem lethal force necessary once your reading went over 300. So I am now. It was a good run for me. I'm going to give it back to Caroline here.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's give Moe Pit of Hell a try for 200.
Mitz is licking his chops over there.
Ew.
In the anime Himoto Umaru-chan, what gaming handle does the...
200, Mitsuki.
What did I just pick?
I heard 100.
It's
100. It's fine. It's fine. You just got to get it right then. And too late. We're doing 100.
What gaming...
200 or 100.
What gaming handle does the titular character Umaru Doma use when at the arcade?
I have never seen this. I'm going to guess between B or C. I'm going to guess B.
I'm going to go for Umu, C.
Yeah, the choices are Uma, UMR, UMU, or DOM.
Umu or Uma makes the most sense, knowing the Japanese kanji and hiragana system. But I'm sticking with Umer. I don't know why.
I'm gonna go Uma just because it means horse.
Boomer. I'm going Umu.
The whole chat is going uwu. So.
No one knew this. I don't think. Or maybe Mason, did you get this? The answer is UMR. The instead initials also feature prominently in the OPs of the series.
That was a complete guess. I promise you, I have never seen the show and I have no desire to.
Okay, we believe you.
I'm gonna expect a confession for my confessional segment by next week. Okay, Mason, it's yours.
Let's go Moe Pit of Hell for 200 as Caroline intended.
Keimono Friends ran a promotion with Tobu Zoo in 2017, which featured 60 cutouts of characters positioned in the animal enclosures of the animals they represented. Hululu, the penguin, ended up attracting the attention of another penguin. What was that penguin's name? Holy shit!
I've never known anything more confidently than the answer to this question.
I have never had no clue more than this, than in this moment.
I don't know, but I'm going to go for Grape Coon because that's just adorable.
So the options are A, Grape Coon, B, Pengu Coon, C, Pip Coon, which sounds like Pokemon, and D, Berry Coon.
I'm definitely going for Pip Coon because why the fuck not? Because I have no clue.
The answer is A, Grape Coon.
Shut up. Stories. Yes! Grape Coon is the answer. The stories say that Grape Coon was recently rejected from his partner penguin, and after the cutout of Hululu was put up, he would spend his days staring at her so much that they kept her up in the enclosure after the promotion ended. How do you even know that?
Because there's like so many good memes of him like
What the
longingly
fuck,
staring at this anime cutout character.
Okay,
It's
That's so
very funny.
sad. And then he passed away in October of that year. That is just so sad.
I share a deep affinity with the life story of Grape Coon.
I've been to the Ueno Zoo in Japan, and I have to say that it is one of the saddest zoos I've ever visited. So
Oh no.
it's not a nice place. He who is spicy, you are in control of the board and are in the lead.
Let's go Rose and Blossom. Let's see what that category is all about for 300.
In Code Geass, nightmare frames belonging to the top pilots of Britannia were appropriately named after Arthurian knights. Which of these mechs was stolen by Lelouch? Was it Gawain, Tristan, Lancelot, or Mordred?
I don't know, because I haven't seen Code Geass.
I don't know if it's Gawain or Lancelot.
I'm going to go for Mordred.
I'm gonna guess Lancelot, but
I'm
not too sure.
I'm guessing Gawain. And the
Okay.
answer is
Aw.
Gawain. Oh, the children in Mitsuki's corner. Gawain was an exceptional two-pilot nightmare frame which featured a flight mechanism and dual hadron cannons, which would later be the basis of the next generation of nightmare frames in the series. Wow, I actually got a question right.
Why wasn't this question about Pizza Hut? I would have gotten that answer right.
Well, I know. You know, I'm waiting for like Sonic to come out with something else good. Right now we'll talk about this later, I think maybe. But nacho fries are back, people, and they are delicious. Okay,
I think they're overrated.
Ooh,
blaspheme.
I'm liking the spicy take.
But I've been seeing ads on Twitter for like all this cool stuff that Jack in the Box has going on, and I'm like, I need to go try some Jack in the Box. All right. Well, I expected that to be about cosplay. Maybe it somehow was, but I'm going to try.
I think he's
Maybe it's their favorites or
he's
something.
done like Lelouch cosplays, so I'm guessing they're just
Okay.
questions about anime from series that they have done
Okay.
co-op cosplays.
I'm sure he will explain it to us later on Discord. I'm going to stick with that category because I got very lucky. Rose and Blossom for 200. In Yona of the Dawn, Princess Yona travels with her faithful bodyguard, Hawk, I guess. What is the nickname given to him for his skills as a warrior? Is it A, Lightning Tiger, B, Thunder Beast, C, Dark Wind, or D, Storm Dragon?
I saw one episode of Yona of the Dawn like years ago.
I have a guess.
I'm going to go for Dark Wind.
We did a manga club on it not too long ago. Another manga club that's very fitting because I know that it's B, Thunder Beast.
I thought so as well.
Damn it.
Thunder Beast is the answer. Hawk is known across the kingdom as the Thunder Beast, but later in the manga, after Yona has found all 4 dragons of legend, he would later jokingly refer to himself as the Darkness Dragon when grouped up with when the group pretended to be a group of bandits. So,
Thunder Beast, aka Enzo Sleeping.
yes, exactly. Rose and Blossom for 100. Before it became a series, Death Parade was a one-shot OVA that was part of the anime Midai project. In the OVA, what game was played by the 2 participants in the bar? Holy shit. Is it A,
Oh,
snooker,
I think I know this one.
B, billiards, C, shuffleboard, D, darts? I have a... it's got to be one of... I have no idea.
I know what it is because it was actually the name of the OVA.
I'm going to guess billiards, but I don't know the answer.
I believe that's correct.
Yes, I do think so.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen any... there's some games that like exist in Japan and some games that don't, and I know that billiards does. B, billiards
they
is
did
the
darts
answer.
in an actual episode of Death Parade.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think they did snooker or shuffleboard, though.
I almost guessed darts simply because I saw it recently in that Final Fantasy VII remake. Anyway, which I love that, by the way. Billiards was the answer. I am on fire.
Imagine a shuffleboard of death. And imagine if they actually did that.
That'd be intense.
All right.
Because it's really like slow moving. It would like just tilt off. Oh, that'd be good.
I'm gonna give our scores after one more question here, and we're gonna go Anime Abroad for 100. In the anime, King's Avatar, apologize for the pronunciation. Yesho. Wow. Is that actually what it is?
I learned Chinese.
Oh, shit. Say it again.
Yeshio.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. Original account. One autumn leaf was given what nickname by fans? A, the magician, B, sword saint, C, battle god, or D, king of fighting. And I'm gonna guess the magician. I have no clue.
Well, Sword Saint is from like Sekiro. I have watched all of King's Avatar, so I know the answer. Caroline, do you want to hazard a guess?
It's been a while. I don't really feel like any of these are very familiar to me, but I think Battle God is better than anything else.
That sounds right to me.
Oh.
Yes.
Battle God is the answer. The battle mage One Autumn Leaf is known by fans as the Battle God, or as his rival. The striker Desert Dust is called the King of Fighting. All right. And
he OP.
At this point in the game, Mason is in front, unsurprisingly, with 1,100 points. The Pope is very surprisingly not entirely lost at this point with 900, and Caroline is close behind at 600. I believe we'll go back to Caroline, I guess, since I am giving her all tiebreakers today to control the board.
Wait, Mason, how much do you have?
1,100.
Oh, I have a long way to go. Let's go for Get Equipped 200.
All right. Revy's guns in Black Lagoon are named after what type of sword? A rapier, a saber, a cutlass, or a scimitar?
Oh, these all sound very possible.
I have a guess.
I'm just going to guess B, saber.
I'm going to go for rapier.
I'm guessing cutlass. C, cutlass. Revy's guns are a customized pair of Beretta 92 FS Enox. What the hell is that? With words 9mm sword cutlass engraved on the sides. I've seen quite a lot of Black Lagoon, so that kind of felt right to me.
I haven't seen it since Anime Club.
Yeah, it is. I think it's really good, but your mileage may vary. Wow, I am in control again, and I will stick with Get Equipped for 300. And that is the daily double.
It is?
No, it's not. I'm just kidding. In Noragami, Bishamon is known to have a large family of regalia. How many of them does she bring into battle? Oh my god. Is it 2, 4, 8, or 16?
It's either 8 or 16. But it's how many does she bring into battle?
Well, I know she has a ton.
It's a trick question.
She has a ton of regalia, but I have a guess on the number she actually uses in battle.
How many does she actually wield, though? That's the question. I'm going to go with C, 8. I don't think she takes all of them, because they're different. What? Yeah, I think it's 8. C.
I'm going to go for C as well.
I think it's 4. I think it's B. Bishamon takes 8 of her regalia into battle. I'm not going to read them because it's too many.
There's 8 many. That's how many.
All right. And Caroline, tiebreaker, is in control of the board.
Cool. Let's go for Anime Abroad 300.
In her introductory episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, Toph Bei Fong fights a series of earthbenders styled after pro wrestlers, including one named The Boulder. Which famous WWE wrestler voiced The Boulder?
I don't even. Oh man,
The Boulder proves this question.
Avatar: Last Airbender, and of course, it's a question that I don't know.
It's a tough question.
I'm pissed.
I have.
I'm pretty confident by process of elimination.
I have a guess. I don't fucking know. I'm gonna guess Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I'm guessing The Rock.
Maybe out of impression, I can figure out. I'm pretty sure it's not The Rock. I don't think it sounds like John Cena. I'll go for Mick Foley.
I think it's Mick Foley. I think everyone else is either too big a name or just Stone Cold definitely didn't do The Boulder.
The answer is Mick Foley. While the boulder
Yeah.
was an obvious parody of The Rock, he was actually voiced by The Rock's longtime tag team partner. Caroline, you still have control of the board, and I am where I belong now in last place.
Aw.
I never win
Don't
these
worry,
games.
I'll join you at some point.
I never win these games. Where are we going?
Let's go continuing anime abroad for 400.
All right. Taiwanese glove puppet show Thunderbolt Fantasy is directed by Gen Urobuchi of Madoka Magica fame, featured on Crunchyroll and considered the most anime thing to not be anime. What major anime figure company also sponsors the show? Is it A, Alter, B, Kotobukiya, C, Good Smile Company, or D, Mega House? I have a very I have a good guess.
I have a bad guess, and that bad guess is C, Good Smile Company.
I was kind of thinking C as well.
I also think it's C. The answer is C, Good Smile Company.
Hey, that's the only one I know.
Due to the sponsorship of the series Good Smile Company, the series also boasts a number of Nendoroids of the main duo of characters. It was either that or Kotobukiya, to be honest. So we all get that one right. I believe, Caroline, you still have control of the board.
I'm doing better than I thought. Let's go for Once in a Name, 300.
I don't even... What the hell? What is the name... What is the full title of the isekai fantasy Ten Sura? I don't even know what that references.
Me neither.
I honestly don't know either.
Wow.
What show is this?
So I think we lost this one.
Oh, it's that time I got reincarnated as a slime, or Tensei Shitara Suraimu Data Ken, which is hilarious because I'm doing an impression on that probably next week.
No one calls it Tensura. Clearly.
I did not know it
clearly.
as Tensura, but I would have said that time I was reincarnated as a slime. I don't know if we
you
can...
had known the one that it was talking about.
Yeah.
All right. After we...
I think we all fail.
I think we all failed that one.
With 10 questions left in the game, He Who Is Spicy is still in first place with 2,100. Caroline has now leaped over Mitsugi, or The Pope is Doomed, with 1,600, and The Pope is Doomed has 1,500. Caroline, you're still up.
Cool beans. Let's see here. Let's go for the Moe Pit of Hell for 300.
That's what I like to hear. The cast of the first Love Live series would practice running up a staircase situated near which shrine in Tokyo? Wow, that's not especially easy.
Mitz, are all of these actual shrines in Tokyo?
None that I've been to.
And what are the shrine names?
Atago Shrine, thank you. Togo Shrine, Suga Shrine, or Kanda Shrine. I have a guess because I know where one of these places is. I've stayed in a Airbnb in one of these locations.
Well, you guess first, and I'll guess a different one because I have no shot of guessing
Me
this.
neither. I'll do a different one from you two then.
In the voice of the woman on the Yamanote line, Kanda, Kanda.
I'm gonna go with B, Togo Shrine.
Let's go
Because they
Suga.
got to go someplace else.
I will say that Kanda has a lot of really seedy businesses in it. And so, of course, it would be in Kanda, because it's Love Live. Why not? The stairs behind the Kanda Shrine near Akihabara and the fact member Nozomi Tojo was a shrine maiden at the shrine, made the location famous for the franchise. Holy shit. Mitsugi scores points. I might as well stick with my own Moe Pit of Hell for 400. How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift actually shares the same universe as what the hell? What fighting sport anime? I had no idea. Kengan Ashura, Baki the Grappler, Hajime no Ippo, or Ashita no Joe. Well, it could...
Well, Mitch should be able to narrow it down to at least two, but
Yeah.
I do know what the answer is.
I'm gonna guess. I'm
Sorry, go
guessing Kengan Ashura.
Because I think it would be hilarious, I'm going to go for Baki.
It is a Kengan Ashura.
Kengan Ashura. The series gets referenced a number of times during the anime's run, and Akemi Soryuin is actually the youngest sister of Shion Soryuin, who appears in the series. Yeah, I only could get that because I figured it wasn't Hajime no Ippo, and Baki's just too aggressive to be in that universe, so that's kind of what I got lucky.
Based on how muscly Machio becomes, I just think like, well, that's kind of Baki-esque.
Well, let's be honest,
Kengan
Machio
is pretty violent as well.
I'm gonna be honest, Machio's just juicing like day and night. So he's living on a diet of dry chicken and broccoli and just juicing straight up. So it is what it is. I'm gonna leave all the 500s to last. Get equipped for 400. What is the name of Kino's primary gun in Kino's journey? Is it A, cannon, B, woodsman, C, flute, or D, persuader? And I definitely know the answer to this one.
I do not. I'm going to guess C, flute.
I believe it's persuader.
Yeah, I was going to go with that as well. It feels like Yeah, I'm going D, persuader as well.
The answer is, A, cannon. Really?
Oh, how about that?
Really? Did you get that, Caroline?
No, I didn't. But
Okay.
you guys seemed so convinced it was persuader.
Wow, I'm really shocked. Cannon is the first and main firearm the Kino is given, which is based on the 1851 Colt Navy revolver. Blah, blah, blah. The flute is a sniper rifle that is rarely used. Oh, and persuaders are the generic name for all guns in Kino's journey. Oh, my God. Okay. Well, there it is. What's in a name for 400? What is the full title of the Crunchyroll-produced adventure Yori Moi? Wow, these are getting really hard.
Once again, I don't even know what show this is.
Did IcyRose make this just to destroy us?
Yes, that's the point. That was the point, I believe. Why? I don't know what it is, so I there's no way I can.
Yeah, I
answer.
don't even know what show it is.
Okay. A place further than the universe in English,
Oh my
or
God.
Sora Yori mo Toi Basho.
Goodness, no one calls it that.
right, and
Everyone
now-
just calls it APFTTU. Like they just use the
Blah, blah, blah.
The last question. The last question that's not a 500-point question is Rose and Blossom for 400, so I will take that. In Sword Art Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online, during the second squad jam event, Pito Hui ends up fighting and killing a squad that resembles the Expendables. Which Expendables ends up quitting the game to avoid dying? What the hell?
I've seen this, but I honestly don't even remember this.
I don't know. I'm gonna guess Sylvester Stallone because he's probably the most famous of the four.
That's what I was thinking. Like someone like more recognizable that an overseas audience would get the reference. So I don't think it's Jason Statham. No offense.
I don't know. I'll go for Chuck Norris.
I'll go Bruce Willis then, just to mix things up.
I'm changing my thing to Bruce Willis as well because he was in a commercial recently in Japan. No, Chuck Norris is the answer. In a very uncharacteristic move of the internet meme, the player Chuck Norris ends up quitting from the game in an act of cowardice that upsets Pito Hui. Caroline coming in like a thief in the night.
How could you do that to my boy Chuck?
I am just the smartest person in the room, I guess. And that is actually accurate because there's no one else in this. But yeah, I consider like maybe because it is an internet meme, there's a better chance of Japan knowing about Chuck Norris.
Doing my boy dirty.
All right, so here I go reading the scores here because we got 5 left, and they're all the 500-point questions. He Who Is Spicy is still in first place, but clinging to his very narrow lead with 2,500. The Pope is Doomed is in second place with 2,200. Caroline is in third place with 2,000. So it's it's very much anybody's game. Caroline, you're in control of the board, and we only have 500-point questions left, so it's crunch time.
All right, let's go ahead and die. Let's go into the Moe Pit of Hell 500.
Which anime idol group struck their best JoJo poses? As part of a collaboration with JoJo Fest, was it Franchocho of Zombieland Saga? Was it Wake Up Girls, the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, or Poppin' Party, Bang Dream? Wow.
Is it like the real idol group or like the anime version of? I'm going Wake Up Girls because they're my favorite out of the batch, and I don't think Zombieland Saga would be doing a collab with JoJo. So I'm going B, Wake Up Girls.
I'll go for Zombieland.
I'm
I have
going,
faith in them.
I'm going Zombieland as well. The answer is Wake Up Girls. This collaboration
God.
happened during the 30th anniversary of JoJo Fest in Sendai. Mason, the spicy boy,
Heck yeah.
grabs the victory that was pretty much always his to begin with and squeezes harder. You're up, Mason.
Let's just go down the line. Get equipped for 500.
The 12 deviant blades in Katana Gatari are all said to have a distinct property that makes them the strongest. What was the property of the very first sword encountered in the story? Was it A,
Of course, it would be a Mason question.
it was not very sharp? B, it could not bend or break? C, it was very heavy? D, it was very light?
I thank you, Icy, for really not giving me any like 200, 300 point questions that I would know, but giving me all the juicy 500 ones for this comeback that I don't need. But
You were in the lead. You need
that's
no
what
comeback.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He's giving me all the ones that are right up my alley. But I believe the first one in Katanagatari is like it can't break. B.
I have no idea, but in all transparency, I guessed A. It was not very sharp. Or it was
I was
very
kind of
sharp.
thinking B.
All right. The answer is B. It could not bend or break. The quality of Zeto Kanna, or Absolute Sword Plane, the first of the deviant swords, based on the idea that the best sword was the one that would never break.
Watch Katanagatari, everybody. It has the best ending out of any anime ever.
I've seen about half of it. Mason, you're still up.
What's in the name for 500?
What is the full title of the sci-fi fantasy
I don't know.
drama Suka Suka? Or as I will, let's be honest, more comedically referred to as Suka Suka. I don't know what this refers to again.
I watch a lot of anime. I
Sci-fi
follow
fantasy.
like a lot of the shows. I like to think I have a pretty encyclopedic knowledge on like everything that comes out. I have no idea what this is referencing.
No
I'm
idea.
gonna say Berserk 2016 because it sucks twice.
I don't know.
Neither do I.
What do you do at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us? Or Shumatsu nani Okay. Shumatsu nani shitemasu ka? Ishogashi desu ka? Skette moratte ii desu ka?
Nope.
Okay.
I've never heard of
Wow,
this.
what the fuck? All right. It is now impossible for me to win the game, but let's continue on anyway, because Caroline could still tie. Let's go, Mason.
see.
It's you're in control of the board.
Anime abroad for 500. Boring choice. Let's do it.
French series Waifu had an OVA focused on the first season's main antagonist, Nox, that was produced by Science Saru's En-Young Choi and Masaki Yuasa. The character Nox is a Zelor, a race in Waifu that specializes in what magic? What the shit?
I have no idea.
Once again, he's trying to give me my personal questions with these Choi and Yuasa stuff, but I have no idea what half the words in that sentence just was.
I don't know. I'm just gonna guess blood. I don't know.
That specializes in what magic?
I'll go for time.
We're all just guessing.
All
right.
Portals, D.
The answer is time. Zelors in the Waifu universe are masters of time magic. Their class in the MMORPG are in fact called Zelor's Sandglass. Caroline comes in and takes 500 points all on her own, and now is in control of the board.
Wow, so many choices. Well, let's go for the only one available, the Rose and Blossom 500.
As of 2020, how many versions of King Arthur Pendragon exist in the Fate Grand Order mobile game? Holy shit.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to guess 7. I don't know.
There's
D,
a lot of
25. There has to be the maximum number.
I'll go for 14.
The answer is 14.
Oh my goodness.
As
I'll
of
have to come back.
2020, there are 14 versions of King Arthur in the Fate Grand Order, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. There's so much information here. I really feel bad I can't read all of this, but IcyRose. If you want, I tell you what, if anybody wants any more detail on any of these questions, you can DM me on the Discord. I'll send you the whole game. Because IcyRose definitely, you know what, fuck it. There are 14 King Arthurs. 4 of them are sabers, 2 of them are lancers, 1 is an archer, 1 is a caster, 2 riders, 1 assassin, 1 berserker, 1 ruler, and one is a foreigner. Random. Caroline.
Heck yeah.
Comes up at the end and ties the he who is spicy. An act thought before impossible.
I'd actually give it to Mason because I feel like he probably knew more of the answers than I knew. I was just guessing.
I don't know. You had the end game momentum, so. But what I will note is that I, as always, come in last place.
Aw, man.
I never win, but it's okay. But because I had fun, and that's the whole point, is it not? So, and we're back on screen. Again, big thanks to IcyRose for being the kind gentleman that is willing to put forth so much effort for the podcast again and again, so many years now. So, big thanks to Icy. Do I still have the IcyRose drop on here? Again, as you will learn, Caroline, one thing that is always true on this podcast is that I have too many drops to actually find any of the ones I need in a timely manner. I don't think it's on here.
Are you kidding? I've been an avid listener for the past 2 years.
Shh.
I know everything.
I know.
Including these bunch of crunch.
Oh, wow.
Getting
Little
them all
candy in
prepped
order to
for that.
congratulate myself on a job well done.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So very nice. So, well, and I hope that we'll be able to play more of these games in the future. I'm sure that this will not be the last game we will play that's made by IcyRose, probably also as well. As I find the drop from the file list and play it.
Ice, baby.
There it goes, just for him.
Excellent.
All right. And now we're going to take a news break.
But
because-
wait, there's one more thing of trivia while we go into the news break.
Oh, right,
Just
of course.
because we haven't had
Yeah.
enough trivia as it is. And that is in 2.43, Saiyan High School Boys Volleyball Team. What is the meaning of the 2.43 in the title? You don't know. I don't know. But we'll find out together in just a little bit. Stay tuned.
Hey, Anime Addicts, Mitsugi is here, and I'm bringing you your anime news break, starting off with Nanatsu no Taizai, or Seven Deadly Sins, getting a new anime film in the summer of 2021. Kodansha announced this past week on Wednesday. The subtitle for the film is Cursed by Light, and it's going to feature an original story by Suzuki. Toei is going to distribute the film this coming summer. So if you're a fan of the Weekly Shonen Magazine manga property, which has 37 million copies in circulation and several anime seasons, look out for the upcoming film in summer. Next up, Demon Slayer. Netflix has added Demon Slayer to its roster for the U.S., citing it as, quote, it's the anime's first season. Of course, the anime premiered back in April of 2019, ran for 26 episodes, had a historic manga sales run and movie release, etc. In the Taisho period, Tanjiro is a kind-hearted boy who sells charcoal for a living, finds his family slaughtered by a demon. To make matters worse, his younger sister Nezuko, the sole survivor, has been transformed into a demon herself. Though devastated by the grim reality of things, Tanjiro resolves to become the Demon Slayer so that he can turn his sister back into a human and kill the demons that massacred his family. Those for you that somehow don't know what Demon Slayer is about. So if you wanted to watch it more easily, you can get it on Netflix now, so check it out. Next up, more shonen. Jujutsu Kaisen takes 15 of the top 16 spots on Oricon's top 50 manga ranking. It looks like there are 15 volumes of Gege Akutami's Jujutsu Kaisen manga out, including Volume 0, the prequel, and all of them, including Volume 0, were in the top 16 on the list. However, it did not take number 1 on the list, which was owned by the 33rd volume of Attack on Titan by Hajime Isayama, so just leapfrogging everything right to the top. So if you're a fan of Jujutsu Kaisen, good news. It went from having 8.5 million copies in circulation in October to about 20 million copies in circulation as of about a week ago, which is a rise of over 200%. So Jujutsu Kaisen is on the march and is very popular, about as popular as ever. Next up, well, Rito the Healer just couldn't stay out of news forever. And it looks like the publishing companies and distributors and simulcasters in Germany are unable to find somebody willing to take it on to show it in Germany, I assume due to its objectionable content. So there are no plans for a simulcast, although the company that is publishing will be releasing the uncensored and uncut versions of the anime on Blu-ray in the fall. So looks like Germany's out of luck. Next up and lastly, the smartphone game Girls Frontline is getting a TV anime live stream program for the Girls Frontline smartphone game, announced on the television that a television anime is going to be made. So it's going to have a 2021 debut. So the synopsis, the game is set in a war-torn future where tactical dolls, more commonly known as T-dolls, are almost exclusively used for combat in place of humans. And having been repurposed from their previous life as civilian androids, the majority of the world is uninhabitable due to contamination from capsule fluid, as much of humankind is dead. So lots of T-dolls and robots killing their human masters, etc. If you're a fan of this kind of, sounds like a dystopian future sort of property, check out Girls Frontline, getting an anime here in 2021. This is Mitsuki, and this was your anime news break. And now, as always, time to get back to the podcast right the fuck now. Anime Addicts, as you know, this podcast recently became independently funded, and we are attempting to continue on funding this podcast with the help of so many of our listeners without having to play annoying commercials for underwear and razors and cat food and all kinds of other things that bore you and make your listening experience not quite what it could be. And if you go over to our website, aaapodcast.com/join, you can sign up. You can also do so on Patreon. And when you do, you'll get our hentai episodes, our hobby addicts, and our after parties. 8 total episodes of our podcast per month, just for you, just for saying a little thank you for supporting the podcast, because we do appreciate it so much. You can also go to our website, aaapodcast.com, simply across the top and click the donate button. If you don't really want to sign up, you can just throw us a couple bucks, help us out. And if you don't have any money to throw our way, hey, we still love you. We hope you keep listening. We appreciate all of our listeners, and we love doing this podcast for you so much, as we have for over 11 years now. So hopefully we'll have another 11 years to come. I love you all so much. Again, if you want to help out the podcast, you can go to aaapodcast.com/join or Patreon.
この番組は
Fucking nobody
の提供でお送りします。
Came back just in time.
That song always gives me Persona vibes. I don't know why.
In 2.443, Ni-ten Yon-san, Sein High School Boys Volleyball Team. What is the meaning of Ni-ten Yon-san in the title? The answer is, in men's volleyball, it is the height in meters of the net, which is just shy of 8 feet. And guys, if you haven't supported the podcast yet, all the other reasons in the world, the donation to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, the unique title on the Discord. There's also an exclusive RSS feed that will give you easy access to all of our extra episodes, the hentai episodes, the hobby addicts, the after parties, all via your favorite mobile app. That includes Apple Podcasts, Podcast Addicts, Pocket Casts, Castbox, Overcast FM, Downcast, etc. Easy peasy. And I should probably note that on this hentai episode that we'll be doing after the podcast today, my girlfriend will be watching her first hentai ever, and will be delivering to you shock value regarding the anime Bible Black. So you won't want to miss that. So sign up over at aaapodcast.com/join our Patreon. All right. We are back in the...
I was dying in the chat when people were guessing what they thought the 2.43 stood for. We got some submissions from Louis the Cat that says 2.43 is their IQ. We got Go P Demon that says 2.43 is the real value of pi. Real quality guesses that I approve of.
All right, in the chat, boy, they like the Bible Black comment there. So, all right, and now it's time for an oldie but goodie. Only gone for a short while, but now back better than ever. I gotta make sure I have the drop on here because it's been gone for quite a while. But it is Mason's Waifu Wars. Mason, would you like to explain the Waifu Wars real quick one more time while I hunt down this drop?
Sure. Waifu Wars is the segment I used to do back before the movie thing. I'm still going to do both of them, but figured I'd bring it back every now and then. And it's kind of my thinly veiled excuse to talk about a show I like under the guise of just pandering to waifus. So that's kind of the motif behind it.
All right, and here's your drop.
In the game of waifus, you either win or you are late to anime school. Cake will be thrown, ice cold tea will be served. Who will be top in the class and who will be flunked in Mason's Waifu Wars?
God, I forgot how epic that was. Tell me, dear listener, if you have ever fallen victim to this. You start up a new show, preferably perhaps one of your idol shows, and you get a MC. They're plucky, but they're new to music, and you meet their childhood friend, and they attend this new school, and you're riding that high. Things are looking clean and vibrant, and there's so much possibility around every corner. And maybe around the corner, the two, they witness a talented but shy character practicing a musical number, and they're awestruck by her talents, and they decide, the three of them, to form an idol group and become superstars, and they become fast friends, and they start practicing, and then you get the end of episode performance. But that's when it happens. The lush, the streamlined animation, the look of the show that you love so much was forsaken in favor of some janky CG where everything looks like a Playmobil figure, and all immersion is broken, and you can't even recognize the characters you fell in love with, and idol shows are ruined forever because of CG. Well, today, I want to highlight a new idol show that avoids the 3D CGI disaster of Uncanny Valley performances by making the entire show 3D CGI characters. Oh, that's right. The show I'm talking about today is a very new show. In fact, it's just going to be finishing up by time maybe you hear this in the future. D4DJ. It's the story of four characters
Jesus
who form an
Christ.
idol group. Yeah, based around the musical stylings of a disc jockey or DJ. And to be honest, there's a lot of reasons why people won't like the show. It is an idol show, which means it's bundled with all the cute girls doing cute things, trappings. And like I said, the entire show is CG. And I didn't even see it or notice it in the fall season because it started airing later, and it's just another idol show. Who cares? But at the urging of BCom from the Nerdum and Other Nonsense podcast, I gave it a watch, and there's actually a lot to love here. This is probably the best idol show I've seen in years. It's incredibly fun. It gives you big smile energy. The CG that's used throughout the show looks fantastic with some excellent cuts throughout the performances, and just the eating sequences are really cool. And musically, the show's really killer as well. So it has a lot of good technical aspects about what it means to be a DJ. But most importantly, as always, there's a lot to love in the show. And by that, I mean there's some solid waifu picks. You've got the cool one. You've got the one with abs. You've got the big eater. Did I mention the abs? And you've got, the shy one, but those abs, though.
Abu.
And the pouty one. But most importantly, in the waifu of the show is Maho Akashi, who, spreading her charm points across the board, she is a quality waifu that is intelligent, she's insightful, she's aware of one another and conscious how all her friends fit together. She's a great cook, she has a cool hairstyle, she's got these blue room vibes where everything in her room is a Blue Man Group show.
She hot.
She's a cutie, yeah.
You know what, Mason?
What?
Hey girl, you're looking so fine.
Yep. Even if her stage outfit looks like she'd fit right in with the gull wings from Final Fantasy, she's so confident in her abilities to grow, but she's still humble enough to know that she's still got a lot to practice and live up to. She's not too proud to express her amazement with others. She's encouraging. She brings people together. She invites people to follow up on their dreams, and she often like stays up throughout the entire night to like give her friends a better chance of success. She's like more of the straight man of the group to level out the more Genki girls, but she's still like a rooted like dorky character, and she's really good at communicating. And she's just like the talent and drive and source of all success in the group. And we don't know that she doesn't have abs, which is a fair point, but we do know that she gets the entire ending song to herself. And she's a great character in a surprisingly fun show. I recommend people give this show at least one shot just to see if the fun grabs you. You might be surprised if you like Bang Dream or Love Live. You should check it out. And you can watch it on Crunchyroll, Funimation, Dive, and even on YouTube for free, like legally. So thank you to Bushy Road for supporting it, and watch D4DJ. It's a hidden gem. And that's Waifu Wars.
I love it. You know what? Honestly, I'm glad it's back, Mason. I missed it.
Mix it up.
And it does appear Tom Brady is going back to the Super Bowl for like the 17th time. I mean, the man is a god. Like, there's no other way to describe it. I don't even know what to say at this point. So
it's because Wampom in the Discord predicted.
I mean,
this guy who has no knowledge of any football correctly predicting that the Bucs advance twice in a row.
I mean, I think as a Patriots fan, I think I'm accurate in saying I think Brady has been in the Super Bowl something like every other year for like the past 20 years or something, or like something ridiculous. So at this point, that's not really all that much of a prediction, but we can roll with it. Shall we do some mailbags?
Sure.
It's time for an almighty anime mailbag.
Don't do
Anime.
Oh my God.
Anime.
They're dancing.
Anime.
Mailbag. All right, if you would like to submit a mailbag, you can do it via the website, aaapodcast.com. And while you're in the mailbag section, why don't you confess your anime sins so that the Pope can kick you into hell with the rest of the Moe filth? You will. Just kidding. That's a different time for that, but please submit your confessions. Okay. Yotari Vegeta, who is always here to write mailbags. AAA, I'm having trouble coming up with an answer for this, and I hope you can help me. What is the best spin-off anime? Side stories count as well. Ideally, I'm thinking about a character, usually not a protagonist, goes on to have their own series, including new characters. The first example I can give is Magi, The Adventures of Sinbad. Pokemon Origins is also considered a spin-off. Caroline, why don't you start?
Well, I have not seen a lot of spin-off series, and I can't think of any in particular that have followed a side character from the original. But of the limited list of spin-offs that I've seen, something that was mentioned earlier in the quiz was SAO Alternative GGO. That one I found really fun and interesting because it utilized setting arguably better than SAO. And personally, I find Len to be a much better protagonist than Kirito. So that one is pretty good. Another spin-off that I really enjoyed that you might probably think it's a little bit funny is Attack on Titan Junior High. It's basically like a chibi show. And, it's simple, like slapstick humor, but it parodies the show like really well. And I find it very funny. And Chibi Armin is just the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've seen that as well, and it's really good. So, for me, going back to an old throwback from years ago, Mahou Shoujo Lyrical Nanoha, I do believe was a spinoff of Triangle Hearts. I think Nanoha was just like a running like a cafe or something in that show. I'm not exactly sure what her role was, but it wasn't the main character, I don't think. Also, The Cat Returns is a spinoff from Whisper of the Heart, as the statue in the workshop in Whisper of the Heart is actually the main protagonist in The Cat Returns, and that is a fantastic movie. So
that's smart.
That's a really good one. Mason?
I also am not a huge fan or into the spin-off series of stuff. I do agree, though, Vegeta, that Pokemon Origins is really solid. Probably my favorite within the Pokemon franchise. Every other, I guess, spin-off, I just like the fact that it exists more than I think it's a good show or better than the original. Like Nurse Witch Komugi is a weird, like, funny spin-off from the Soul Taker universe. And I guess Amagi Brilliant Park is kind of a spin-off because it has the character of like Banta from Fumofu as a character in here called Mothel. I don't know if it's even technically the same character, but they are clearly designed the same way, and they're both KyoAni shows. So I'm going to say Amagi Brilliant Park is a thing that's pretty cool that I enjoyed more than Fumofu. So there you go.
Okay. And again, if you want to submit mailbags, you can do it via the website. On the top it says mailbag. Click it, do it, be it. Just,
Just do it!
just do it. Just get over there, make it happen, make me happy.
Chat is asking if the new Burn the Witch show is like a spin-off from like the Bleach universe. I think it's like set in the same universe, but it feels so much its own thing. I don't know if I'd call it spin-off. Maybe it's inspired by it and that counts, but it is cool. It's like 3-episode movie kind of thing, so give it a shot. But I don't know. Anyway,
All right.
winter
It's-
2021.
You forget what year
we're
it
gonna
was.
be doing impressions.
Impression time, believe it!
Believe it,
I thought he was gonna drop the drop, and then he did it, and I forgot where I was at in the year. But 2021 winter, we've done it. We're here, round 1 of impressions. So if this is your first time listening to the show or haven't been around for how the impressions work, really quickly, we have 21 shows that are up for impressions. We each kind of pick 7, and essentially we will go through this week and the next 3, kind of talking about our initial thoughts on them, and if we are passing them or locking them, it's the same word, or kind of leaving them to the side. And what will happen, we each get 2 picks, which means between the 3 hosts that we have, we'll get 6 total locks. And 9 shows total will be reviewed, so the last 3 that we don't lock, as well, essentially all the shows we don't pass go in a big poll that we send out to you, the listeners, and you will get to choose your top 3 from that list. And then once everyone's cumulative top 3 gets put in, we get those 3 shows added to our 6. We get 9. That was a really obtuse way of describing it, but just don't worry, you'll get how it works soon enough. So
We pick
Yeah.
6, you pick 3, end of story.
you got it. That's how it works. Anyway, is anyone really itching to go first, or should I?
You can go first.
I think Mason should probably go first. I should just add that in an effort to get these done, they're really only intended to be like 3 to 5 minutes long. So
Yes. Quick speed round. Put me on the clock. Let me know when I'm at 3 minutes, okay?
all right.
We'll start off with, as the trivia might suggest, 2.43. Seiin Koku Danshi Volleyball, or Seinen the high school boys volleyball team. This is the sports show that's a team show of the season. I am not going to compare it to Haikyuu because we don't need to do that. Essentially, if you are looking for a sports show with a capital S, be warned, you will not find one here. This is for fans more along the lines of like Stars Align or Battery, which is another Noitamina show, where the sports are definitely in the back seat to the character drama of the people on the team. And essentially, this is kind of expressed very upfront because the whole gathering of members, learning how to play the sport, kind of a lot of the tournament stuff, like all of that is crammed into like a 2-minute montage scene, which I appreciate because I mean things are going quickly. And then again in episodes 2 and 3, we get more training, more matches. A whole like tournament is once again crossed off the calendar in a matter of seconds because it's all about the drama. And if this is your first time watching a sports anime, it's going to seem kind of disorientating because it's going so quick that you're like, what's going on? But if you've seen a lot of sports shows, you kind of already know the formula, so you almost are kind of glad it's moving quick. So it's a double-sided blade there. But the biggest problem with the show is that pacing, because it is so fast that all the drama seems overblown because these emotional outbursts come out of nowhere because you don't have the arc or story beats that kind of lead up. You can kind of go with a character through the inner turmoil, the festering of their emotions and feelings and context clues. It just feels sudden when they're blowing off steam at one another and getting in fights because it's so quick. And I get that the show is trying to get somewhere, but it makes all this pacing seem really stop and start for the first 3 episodes. And these episodes are focusing on like stage fright, maybe inadequacy and jealousy. So there's some deep themes that it's not really giving the time to digest. So from a moment to moment stage, the show is very somber, contemplative. It is not upbeat. The music kind of is more mellow. The wintry aesthetic that the show resides in is very fitting, especially given the real life time of year that I'm watching this. But I don't know, it looks fine. It's pretty well put together, but I wouldn't say it's immediately eye-grabbing or eye-catching. There's a couple really nice moments of like the volleyball physics when like a character is bouncing the ball on the ground, and it could have just been a static image, but they actually like rotate the ball. Like there's some nice touches, but overall it didn't really grab me. So essentially, I enjoy sports shows that aren't about the sport, but from the pacing issues that I've seen and the suffering of the execution because of it, I really can't recommend this. Though if you do want to give it a shot, I strongly say make sure you stay for the post-credit scenes, because there's a lot of big plot points that are revealed after the ED. So I don't think the show has quite enough for anyone to really love, but it's a fine show if it seems like your kind of thing, but I will not be passing it.
All right. Well, bye-bye, volleyball coon. I mean, it was kind of a pretty tall order to expect them to be able to capture, what Haikyuu has done. So,
and it's nice that they're going for a very different feel. They're not trying to just copy the blueprint, which I appreciate, but it has some kinks that it needs to work out.
Yeah, the problem is that when you make a volleyball anime, everybody automatically thinks of Haikyuu at this point. So
yeah, you can't not.
You're always going to be compared to it. So, all right. Well,
so Mitz, would you like to talk about Cells at Work season 2 first, and then I can talk about Black?
Sure. So Cells at Work season 2, Hataraku Saibo, is an anime that it came out already. Let's see. The original release was back in 2018 in the summertime period. It's done by David Productions, and this anime is, well, for starters, it looks very different than the original Cells at Work. If you've seen the original Cells at Work, you'll note that the character models don't look completely the same. I don't know, I can't put my finger on it exactly, but they have like different shading or something on their faces. It doesn't look as nice as it did before. I don't know if not everybody will probably agree, because I feel like the art style of things is very much an aesthetic choice, but that's kind of how I feel about it. But Cells at Work season 2, it really is. It's identical to the first Cells at Work. It really hasn't done anything different through the first 3 episodes. They start off with the typical, like, the human body has 85 billion cells, blah blah blah, and and then they say, like, here's the white blood cell, here's the red blood cells, here's the platelets, here are the macrophages, here are the killer T cells, and they spend probably the first episode kind of reintroducing you to all the things that make Cells at Work what it is, and then the show pretty much continues on its general formula of what it was doing before, which is the body is invaded or there's some problem, and they're very happy to show you the different ways that the body tackles these problems, like bacteria that invades, or in the first season it was like heat stroke, like there was all kinds of stuff, and it's the same. It's really the same thing as it was before. It's identical. It's doing nothing new. It's not really any worse or any better, I would say, than the first season. I guess I just wish that in Cells at Work they would start focusing on things other than just like the killer T cells and the white blood cells, like attacking bacteria. Like, there's so many interesting and unique functions of the human body that, like, I'm not even qualified to speak on, but I know there's, like, the human body is like a miracle that it even exists in the way it does. It does so many amazing things. The brain alone is like beyond explanation, and I really think that Cells at Work would be better served to branch out and talk about some stuff other than ultimately defaulting to like a shonen fighting show, which is ultimately what it is, which is where, like, oh, this bacteria that looks like ice cream comes up and it's like, oh, it's going to kidnap a red blood cell, and then the white blood cells are all fighting it, and like it is what it is. But to be frank, I was pretty bored with the first Cells at Work well before the season ended. I can only watch the same thing happen over and over again before I start getting bored of it. And if I'm being completely blunt, I was bored with the second season of Cells at Work after 5 minutes because it was the same exact show it was before, complete with the same like speech that leads in every episode. So as I think like in a season that was about how good a season normally is, this anime would probably be pretty strong up there with a lot of shows because it's not a bad anime. However, this season is friggin' loaded with stuff, and it's just nowhere close to probably even like the top 15 of the top 15, I would say. So I would say if you like Cells at Work season 1, you have no reason to not like season 2. You're liable to like it just as much. And if you were not a fan of season 1 or got kind of tired of the concept, you should probably just not watch this one at all. But it may be worth checking out Cells at Work Black, as we'll hear about in a minute. But this one is not going to be something that we will be covering going forward. So I'm going to take a pass on it.
All right. So I started watching Cells at Work Code Black or Cells at Work Black, either name kind of goes. It is done by Linden Films, not David Productions. So it does look kind of different. Now this show is basically Cells at Work as you know it, but they cover a little bit more of, I guess, darker or like more risque themes. There was an STD episode, so there's that. Now, yeah, so this show kind of follows, it's kind of like gender flip to like the main character, Red Blood Cell, is a boy. The main character, White Blood Cell, is a girl. It seems that most of the White Blood Cells are women. Which I thought was kind of cool until they did like a rape joke. Not a rape joke, but they made a rape reference in one of the episodes, and I was like, of course, because their boobs are out, you know, it happens.
It wouldn't have happened to the male white blood cells, only because they're female.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Because what is it? What is the STD? It was in the STD episode.
Gonorrhea.
It was gonorrhea.
Wow.
And licked the white blood cell's chest. So that's good. Now, other than that, I actually kind of enjoy the show. I think I'm like 5 episodes in. They kind of dropped a couple of episodes already, like altogether. Other than that, kind of gross part, I think the show is a little bit more interesting than Cells at Work season 2. Maybe it's because it takes a little bit more of a more serious tone. And also, I think it's interesting. I would kind of compare it to kind of like a Gretzko a little bit. It kind of just highlights what a bitch work can be. And if it's a really bad place that you're working at that doesn't care about you, and you're forced to work like way harder than is healthy. And I think it's an interesting comparison. Also, but one thing I kind of found a little bit funny is that they're always like, go, go, go. You got to get this oxygen out to the cells and go, 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 go. Don't stop. But then for most of the show, they are just walking to places. So I'm like, what happened to the go, go, go? You know,
They're walking fast is the answer.
True. Yeah. So honestly, I thought I'm enjoying the show so far. But I don't think that there is enough for a discussion, especially in the season that we're in. So I will be, not passing it for now.
Everybody wants to say fail, but we're trying our best.
Yeah, I don't want to fail it because it might come back during listener poll, but you never know.
Good.
I definitely think between the two Cells at Work, as much as I wanted to write off Black for just being like, oh, it's going to be the same thing, but with cigarettes. Oh, so I actually am enjoying it way more than season 2.
Right,
I mean, Red Blood Cell is best boy, so
he's all right. He's trying.
He's a good boy.
He's getting there. He's getting a little more masculine.
Mason, I think you're up again.
I am, and I will do my number 10 pick of the season, which was originally Alice in Deadly School. This was back before we realized, no, that's just an OVA that goes along with the show called Gekidol. So they're actually kind of entwined. So as such, my impression will be over Gekidol, which is it's kind of an idol theater show. Essentially, what happens is the lead characters in Gekidol are actresses who are performing a play in a theater. And the play that they perform is called Alice in Deadly School. So you watch episode 1 of Gekidol, it goes into part 1 of the Alice in Deadly School OVA, so you see what play they're performing, and then it goes back to Gekidol, and I guess part 2 of the OVA will come out in the future, but as of right now, that's how you're supposed to watch it. So, now that that's clarified, what is the show itself? So our main character, Saria, is inspired to get into acting after watching a performance, and she has the ability to like mimic or act just in the same way, the same manner as someone else after watching them once. So she's pretty good at learning things on the fly. And essentially, plays in this future world are aided by technology that allows for like instant costume designs and like flying mechanisms and acting dolls and other special effects. So it's a big production. And all of a sudden, there's big Made in Abyss-esque holes in the ground. I don't know why, but there's big holes in the ground. Anyway, so Saria joins this Alice acting troupe, and I was hoping for like a look into the world of theatrical productions and all this behind the scenes stuff. Not really, but essentially this theater group, it's not paying the bills, so they decide to turn to becoming idols to get some extra cash. So then they try to like fuse singing and dancing with doing like lines of a play. I'm not really too sure. Visually fine. The show really doesn't do anything interesting. It's very stiff looking, but things are clearly communicated. And luckily they don't use CG performances for the idol shows, but then those idol shows are also 10 seconds long, so it's not like it really commits to it anyway. And essentially, after 3 episodes, I really don't know what to think about the show. It gives off a feeling like it's hiding something up its sleeve. Like, it's kind of generic, but it has this like ominous signs and like things going on where we don't know why things are quite happening, and I just don't know if the show's ever going to get around to being interesting, or just like, oh, we're hiding a secret, but you'll find out in like the last episode. Like, so far it's pretty unrecommendable. Like, it's not really presenting any themes or messages. We get very short, brief, sad glimpses in the past of some of the characters, but we don't really care or get any follow-up to it. Like, so far, I think this show will take a whole season to do what Wonder Egg Priority does in a single episode. So the show is just simply uninteresting, and maybe it'll be interesting by the end, but it's definitely not there now. So I will not be passing Gekidol.
Rip. All right. I believe we can go to Caroline again, I believe. Why not?
All right. So here I have the Promised Neverland season 2. Now I don't have like the information for season 1. I believe it came out in 2019 winter, I think. Somewhere around there.
I'll check it.
Anyway, so this is season 2 of the Promised Neverland. Now, if you've never seen the Promised Neverland, hearing a synopsis of the show is a pretty big spoiler. So I recommend that if you want to go into that show blind, do not listen to this part. So here we go. Promised Neverland is about the story about a bunch of kids who grew up in this orphanage, of what they think is an orphanage, and usually by the time that they're 12 years old, they are adopted. They're super happy there. Really great family with the kids and their house mother. But then they find out through a turn of events that this is actually a world filled with demons, that they are being raised as livestock in order to be sold off to them as food. So then the first season kind of goes through their escape. It's a really good first season, a really like probably one of the top shows of that entire year. And so the second season is kind of just following up on after their escape. And so far it is doing pretty well. I do think that I personally prefer the first season so far because of its premise. It just greatly changes everything going into the second season, because they're being dropped into a world they have no idea what's out there, and we don't either. So while there is a lot of there is hope that it will be a very interesting reveal, you never really know. It could just fall on its butt. So we'll see how this goes. Based on the first 3 episodes I believe I watched, they set up quite a bit of an interesting mystery here. Finally figuring out some answers to the questions that we had in the first season. And I'm enjoying it so far. So I would like to pass it.
The first one of the season, Promised Neverland Season 2.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
You better just fucking lock it up.
How much of Phil have we gotten in the first 3 episodes?
That's the important question, right?
What was that?
How
Phil?
much of Phil?
0.
Drop it. I'm revoking it. Not passing. XXX. Not allowed.
0.
Canceled.
He's
Canceled.
not in it.
No Phil. No fun.
He's not in
Well,
it.
I think they might have like shown like a still of Phil.
It makes sense
but
why he
not-
wouldn't be shown. It makes sense. I'm not blaming him.
You might see
Oh.
him at some point. I think that there's a possibility they might go a little bit of a back and forth into the farm. Because I do think this season will have a time skip. So it could actually go back to the farm in the season. I have no idea, though. I've never read the manga, so.
Sorry, no Phil. No Phil, no pass. Just kidding. All right, so I am doing a show here that I predicted would be the sleeper hit of the season, like 100 years ago. And that is Skate the Infinity. Or just Skate with like an infinity symbol next to it, because it's like, oh my god, an 8.
It's not an infinity. It's just an 8.
It's like an 8 that fell over. It got sleepy. So it's done by Studio Bones, who doesn't really need much of a introduction other than that. They did My Hero Academia. They did Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Noragami, Soul Eater. It's up there, it's one of the better studios. And the premise of this is there's a boy named Reki, who is a high school sophomore and a skater who is addicted to skateboarding, I guess. And there's a sport called S, which is a downhill racing event that racers will like challenge each other, and they race through like this. I guess it's supposed to be a mine, but honestly, it doesn't really look like what I envisioned it would look like when I first read the synopsis. But the skaters will like challenge each other, and they really do use the word beefs, like, oh, we're gonna beef and have like a race, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so stupid.
Wait, do they actually say like Bifu, or do they have
Beef.
subtitles?
I have to check on that, but I'm sure they say Bifu, but I have to check on that. So
Bifu des. Beef da.
So Reiki he's a skater, and then this kid shows up from out of town. His name's Longa, and he's a transfer student who comes from, I think he's from Canada. And he has no experience in skateboarding, but he gets kind of rolled up into the skateboarding world because he meets Reki while looking for like his part-time job. And it turns out that Longa, or whatever, however you want to say his name, he doesn't really know how to skateboard, but he can't even like stand on a skateboard. But once he attaches his feet to the skateboard, he's like a master at it, because he is a extremely proficient snowboarder. And so in Canada, he snowboarded a lot. So he he's able to.
How does he attach his feet to the skateboard?
They put straps on the skateboard for him, so his feet are attached to it. So this anime is a ton of fun. The characters in it are super great. Reki he's not nearly as good as Longa after 3 episodes at skateboarding, even though Longa just started. He's just like this super feel-good, supportive friend that is really great to watch, and he's got a really great character design. Longa is not as fun as Reki, but he's pretty enjoyable. There's like the kid that's like a professional skateboarder basically, but he like hates everybody. But then you realize he has like some baggage, but like Reki ends up like helping him get through his baggage. And his name's Mia. Then there's like these other guys that are like super crazy like caricatures. There's this guy named Shadow who like is this big guy that races in like a cape with face paint on, and he's like this super wild dude. But then he's almost like it's almost like watching like a guy, like a member of Kiss, skateboarding. But then like in his daytime he like runs a flower shop. Then there's like the most free swimming anime character ever, which is like this buff guy with like these ripped 6-pack abs and green hair. Like honestly, this anime looks fucking great. The music is great. right from the theme song is great. The ending theme is great. The racing action is pretty good. It's honestly, it doesn't really match like Initial D. Like I keep wanting to compare this to Initial D because it's like we're gonna do these dangerous, like probably illegal races down like areas we shouldn't be doing it, and we're gonna like try to crash each other, and it's super dangerous. But like nothing really like Initial D level of epic has happened. There hasn't been like the duct tape match. There hasn't been like the we're gonna dip our tire into like the gutter on the side of the road type of epicness. But there has been some pretty cool moments in this, and honestly, I would say that out of all the shows I'm watching, with perhaps the exception of Dr. Stone, this one is probably the most fun out of any of them. And as an original anime, is unfucking believable and just smacks of the anime free. If you're a fan of that anime, this one is probably going to be, honestly, this anime is probably something most people are going to like. And it's an unbelievably easy pass for me. The easiest pass I have out of all of them. So I'm going to pass. We're going to lock up this anime for sure. I can't wait to see where it goes. And, you know, I just hope we get into a lot more like crazy badass race scenes because that's really what I'm looking for. If you're not watching this anime, you really should. It looks fucking great. I mean, everything in it looks great. So it's the anime.
Power Studio Bones.
It's that sleeper anime, like you never saw it coming, but it's Studio Bones, and it's got the people from Free behind it, and it's fucking awesome. So I would go check out Skate the Infinity. Super easy pick.
But the name is an atrocity.
Yeah,
the name's kind
of like, how dare they pun their own name?
I don't even.
How much of Phil is in Skate? How much Phil time have we gotten?
0.0.
No Phil. Fail.
I don't know why it's called the Infinity. Like it doesn't make sense at all. But like honestly, I think if you ask the creators why they called it that, they'd be like, I don't know. We don't really give a fuck. That's probably what they would say.
It looks cool, and our show looks cool. What are you gonna say about it?
It's
nerd?
just
like
it's
that's
just,
what they would say.
It's just not that.
Do you have some beef?
Yeah, you beef on
with the Infinity?
Yeah. Did you have beef with me? Fucking guy. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just not that serious of a show, but it's so fucking fun. Anyway, we probably have time for your last one here, Mason, if you want to do it.
Okay, yeah, I'll go pretty quick. This is Otherside Picnic, or Otherside Picnic. It's done by Linden Films / Felix Films, and this is the one that I came in with high hopes and low expectations. I have high hopes because it's a weird combination of genres that could be interesting, and some of what the director has done has been really good. And I have low expectations because the studios aren't having the best track record, and some of the stuff that the director has done has not been that good. So I was kind of up in the air, but this was my number 2 pick because I kind of felt good about it. This is a science fiction survival horror series which tells the story of 2 girls kind of exploring a world full of mysteries that lies on the other side of our own, which is why it's Otherside Picnic. Think of like Girls Last Tour, but less moe and more sci-fi. And as with all like horror anime, it's really kind of tame on the horror aspect. The 2 girls are Sorao and Toriko, and their relationship with one another, as well as the world building, is kind of like the forefront of the entire series. And with an arsenal of like rock salt and a couple of guns and the promise of making money by finding artifacts, they decide to take on this artificial world filled with like all these like urban legends as like monsters that inhabit it. And if you are into either urban legends or like Yuri relationships, it's certainly worth checking out this show. And I think the series is both pretty well. Even though I don't love the solutions to how they defeat the monsters, I get it. It makes sense. And it's a nice nod to a lot of real world urban legends. So if you're into that culture, definitely don't sleep on it. A lot of the most interesting shows or interesting elements of the show has them like trying to figure out and navigate this world. Like there's these like unseen anomalies that they have to like detect by throwing rocks, and like they have this whole like little mini like scene where they have to figure out like how best to throw a rock to like detect these danger zones. And I think this best illustrates how divisive the show will be, because you'll be like, wow, it's so entertaining. Even like tossing a rock is interesting. Or you're going to say, wow, the most interesting part about the show is them tossing a rock. That's kind of banal and plain. So it could go either way. The biggest drawback, though, of the show is easily the visuals. Simple at the best of times, but it's often undercut either in far off shots or in monster battles by heavy use of cheap CG. And that's never a great look. And I'm a sucker for when an OP like changes to match the show. Like if someone gets a new power or something happens to them, like the OP reflects that. I think that's super cool. And they botch a chance to do that. And another thing that the show botches is that it messes up the character's eyes every now and then, because she's supposed to have heterochromia, which is nuts to me that we have 2 shows in the same season where the MC has blue-yellow eyes in 2 different shows. But sometimes the show will just forget that fact and give her the same color eye. Or,
wow.
And you're like, oh, wait, what? Oh, I guess they just forgot. They just Control-C, Control-V it.
People would be pissed. Like, can you imagine it? Can you imagine if Yuna had like two of the same colored eyes? People would lose their shit.
It's like just often enough where you're just like, maybe it's not. Maybe it's like a sign that this power is in the. I don't know, but it's kind of just sloppy. Honestly, if this show came out last season, I would definitely pass it. As of right now, I'm intrigued and I'm going to keep on watching it. But as it currently stands, with how stacked this season is, it's just a bit too lackluster to grab my interest. So I'm going to give it a light non-pass. I might end up watching a couple more of my shows and be like, you know what? Otherside Picnic was actually doing something unique and I might go back to it. But as of right now, I'm not going to be passing it.
All right.
And that's it.
The recap is we have said goodbye to 2.43 Boys Volleyball, Gekidol, Otherside Picnic. We also said goodbye to both Cells at Work Black and the second season of Cells at Work, and we are keeping Promised Neverland Season 2 and Skate, the Infinity. So, and I'm very excited for both of those. So, very difficult season. Honestly, I want to keep about 5 of mine.
Yeah, I was even considering not passing the Promised Neverland Season 2 just by virtue of, well, we already reviewed Season 1.
Right.
Because I know like a ton of other stuff is coming out this season. That's pretty good.
It would have gotten voted back in anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for everybody who stuck with us on Twitch. For all of you that are watching at home, we appreciate everybody who tunes in, everybody who supports the podcast. It really means a lot that we have such a great community. But be sure to check out our Discord if you haven't done it already. You can find the podcast over at AAA Podcast on Twitter. You can also find me at Pope Mitsugi. Mason?
You can find me at Macy Pacey.
Caroline, are you on Twitter?
I am, but I don't really post that much on my own Twitter, but I do post through the AA Podcast Twitter, so you can just find me, quote unquote, there.
You can find us on Facebook as well, so be sure to check that out. And again, I said the Twitter. Or on the Discord, rather. What is going on the Discord right now, by the way, speaking of which?
Weekly Watch Party is popping off, so if you want to get in on all these seasonal shows, go there on Saturday to check it out. Anime Club has a meeting on XXX Holic, or just Holic, on January 27th. Check it out. We're watching 12 episodes of that show. Manga Club will be on February 3rd, doing the first 3 volumes of Pokemon Adventure. So if you want to nerd out and join us on either of those, just jump in voice chat and we'll tell you how it's done. It's a bunch of fun and you don't even need to talk if you don't want to, but we appreciate you nonetheless.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you next week with more Winter 2021 impressions. Can't wait for it, and we'll see you there. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one. Love ya.
Johnny.